Nichifukwa chano maiwe. Asembe mwenzako, sembe ngapi napitamo, sembe inapitemo. Nakuyewa maiwe, nakuyewa maiwanga, nakuyewa maiwe, nakuyewa maiwe, mwana wangu yenda na mulo, nakuyewa maiwanga, nakuyewa maiwanga, nakuyewa maiwe, wenze kunilimbikisako, mwana wangu yenda na mulungu, nakuyewa maiwe, nikaona banzanga basekelelana bamayi baho, mumanilanga nakonane. Mama love you. Manana nakuyewa nakuyewa maiwanga, enze kunipempelelako, nakuyewa maiwanga, nakuyewa maiwanga, wenze kunipempelelako, wenze kunilimbikisako.
Na makolo tizibale mekeza lelo, kajabali na umoyo
tizibale mekeza lelo,
ndabachima baba ngatisibali na iwe muzanga.
Mama miss you mama, mama I miss you mama. Yes, I miss you, mama. Nakuyewa nilelo. Sembe sinapitemo, muvintu napitamo vina.
You know, some few years ago, the years that have passed, I used to cry a lot. When this day comes, I would cry my lungs out. I would complain to God, and I would ask God questions like, why did you allow my mother to die? Why did she die? I was young by then when she died. I was young, and I have my brothers, my older brothers, 2 of them, and also I have brothers. So each day, when this day comes, I would cry. Every year, I would cry my lungs out. I would complain to God. I would ask questions. why did mom die? Why did you allow my mother to die? All sorts of questions, were popping up in my mind, and I could talk to God, and I would spend the whole day just at home crying, lock myself up, and there's no death that hurts and that hits differently as the death of a mother. Of course, loved ones, it hurts when they die. It hurts. Your brother, but when your mom dies, a mother's love is totally different from a father's love. The sacrifice that they really give to us, their children, is totally different from the way a father loves. These two are two different people, and the fact that I grew up with only mom and my brothers, that really broke my heart, broke my brothers' hearts, my siblings. And I remember when mom was dying, one of my siblings was 6 years old, and the last born was only 3 months old, like 3 months old. And this is a boy that has never seen mom before, and he has only seen mom on photos. All right, I'm gonna be posting his photos later, and just the photos of me and my siblings later on. But then when she died, I felt like the world is crashing on me. She was the only one I had. She was my hero. She was the one I looked up to. She did everything for us. She sacrificed her life for 5 boys. 5 boys. And boys are handful. Boys are handful. They are totally different from baby girls. Baby boys, if you have 1 or 2, they are handful. Very handful. That's how boys are. So yeah, I would cry until sometimes I would even think, especially when I'm going through downs in my life, I would ask God to say, Lord, you took my mom. I'm sure if she was alive today, I can't be going through what I'm going through. I was mama's boy. Yeah, I remember those days when she was alive. I was mama's boy. I was the closest to mom then. I was an example that mom would actually give to my siblings, especially the older ones. I was that close to her. And so even when she died in 1999, I couldn't believe. I couldn't cry because I could not believe that my mother can die. Okay? I could not believe that she can die. And so I couldn't cry. The situation of the way she died, let me just tell you how she died. We used to stay in Luansha, and then the biological brother to mom got sick in Kitwe, and so my mother went to babysit my to be on the bedside, not babysit rather, to be on the bedside of the brother, okay, in hospital. And then the brother died. And then the day the brother was being buried, the older brother to my mother, the day was being buried, that's the day my mother died. While we were in Luansha waiting that mama is gonna come. So she was on the sick bay of the elder brother, and the brother died. And then the day the brother was being buried, my mother died. We were in Luansha and we didn't know anything. And so they were bringing the funeral from Kitwe. Now that's my mother's funeral, to Luansha. And when we saw the vehicles, as young as I was, and my kid brother who was 6 by then, the one who comes after me, we started celebrating, and I was celebrating that my mother is back. She's back home after being away for some time, you know. And surprisingly, the people that were coming in the vehicles, they started coming from the vehicles crying. The next thing, they enter the house, taking out the couch, the chairs, and they were crying, wa auntie, and I couldn't understand what was going on. All right. And one of my cousins called Derek Kaira is in the Zambia army. He came, he hugged me, he was crying. My elder brothers, the firstborn was crying because he wasn't with mom, so he knew what happened. He was crying. When my elder brother, the second-born, I'm the third, he was told that mom had died, he also started crying. When I was told I couldn't cry, throughout the funeral I couldn't cry, because I couldn't believe that my own mother could die. And the day she was being buried, we were doing body viewing, and I saw my mother in the coffin, in the casket, and I couldn't believe she was the one, because she just looked like somebody who is sleeping, and the way she used to do her makeup and everything, like she is just sleeping. But when they closed the coffin, the casket, and then they put that casket in that 6 feet, that's when I knew that mom has really died and she is gone. That's the day I cried, and I cried for I don't know how long, and I didn't want to stay home anymore. After her burial, I think I left home for about 3 months or so. I didn't want to have all the memories of mom in the house and everything. I couldn't just handle it because of the way I was close to mom. I couldn't just believe it. I couldn't just comprehend her death. And you know, I used to be mama's boy, and I used to be this boy that was trouble when it comes to bathing, and so mom knew about it. And the day she was going to Kitwe to go and take care of the brother, the older brother who was sick, I'm the one who escorted her to the station to get on a bus, and the only words that she told me was, "My son, you should be bathing," because she knew I was a trouble. I didn't like bathing, so she told me, "My son, you should be bathing even if I'm away from home." Well, those words, they were just mere words to me. They were just mere words to me because, you know, I didn't like bathing. And then after she died, some years passed and I grew up, I was mature enough. I came to realize that those words were actually meaning I should be remembering my mother every day of my life. I should be remembering my mother every day of my life. How? Because every time I bath, I feel like I'm fulfilling what my mother told me, and she is happy that I'm bathing. And so every day I bath, I remember her, because those were the words that she left with me. The last words from my mother were, "My son, you should be bathing," because she knew I never liked to do that. I was a trouble boy when it comes to bathing, and she told me those words, and they only made sense when I grew up and matured enough that actually my mother was sending a message to me to say, "My son, you should be remembering me every day of your life." And so every time I go to bath, I remember my mother. And in 2017, I won an award, the first ever award in my career, and I decided to dedicate that award to my mother. I dedicated that award to my mother in 2017. That was my first ever award. I dedicated to her, and I was so proud that I dedicated to her. But then 2017, I kept up. You know, most of you, I'm an artist. I sing music, and I was thinking I've never done any song for my mother, and so it was upon my heart that I should do a song for my mother. And I decided, as I worked on my Nami Tulila album, I said, okay, on this album I'll have a song that I'll sing for my mother, and apart from having a song that I'll sing for my mother, I will dedicate the whole lot of the album to my mother. And so that's what I did. I dedicated the album to my mother, and I did a song for my mother, and that is the song that is playing in the background. That is the song playing in the background. I dedicated it to my mother. And so if you have a loved one, you've lost a loved one, you've lost your mother, I dedicate this song to you that you can also dedicate to your mother. A mother's love is something that everybody needs. Everybody needs. All right? Sometimes when I miss her and I see friends that are already having their mothers still living, you know, they are happy posting about their mothers and everything, and then I can't do that. When Mother's Day comes, I can't do anything for my mother because she is dead. Okay, but I know that wherever she is happy because she was a Christian. She was a Christian, and the best thing that I can do is to celebrate her life and be happy that she gave me life and she gave me my siblings, and here I am today. All right? And one thing that I can tell you that are watching me right now, if you have your mother living, do everything possible to make her happy. Do everything possible to learn anything that you want to learn from your mother. Ask questions, learn. Don't take her for granted that she will live forever. No, there is death, and death doesn't choose. And the moment you are happy, and the moment, you know, I don't know how I can put it. The most things that you love, at times God comes and takes away from you because He is the owner of life, just to show He's mighty in your life. When my mother died, I felt the whole world was crashing. Something from her death. What my mom's death taught me was to stand on my own, to do things on my own, to be a man and not a boy. My mother's death taught me something positive, apart from me crying that I lost her, but it taught me to be a man and to fight for my own things and not to be a boy. Every situation that comes in your life, whether positive or negative, it comes to teach you a lesson, and you have to learn from it. And I learned from my mother's death that I should be a man and not a boy. I used to cry back then, but not anymore when this day comes. I celebrate my mother and look at the positive side of my mother's death. I do miss her. I do miss her every day. Every day of my life, I do miss her, especially when I'm bathing, because those are the last words that my mother really left with me. So when I bath, I feel fulfilled. I feel I'm giving back what Mama taught me to do. So if you have your mother, make sure you spoil your mother. Make sure you respect her. Make sure you listen to everything that she tells you. She has seen more days than you have seen because you're just her child. Hope you're getting what I'm saying. Mothers sacrifice a lot for us to live. At times she can be hungry so that you eat. And it hurts me that I'm in the capacity where I can get mom what she wants, but I can't do it because she is not alive. But I'm able to manage to get anything for my mother. That's how much I have grown. But when she died, I was only a boy. And it hurts that my achievements, the things that I have done, that I have achieved, the money that I make, I can't do anything for her to make her happy. And she can't see what I can do for her. Even the award that I dedicated to her, of course from my heart, but she has not seen the award. The song that I've dedicated to her, she has not heard the song. The album that I dedicated to her, she has not seen it, she has not listened. She never even knew that I could sing. The only thing that my mother knew I can do was to dance. She knew that I dance, and she supported my talent, and she could take me to every dancing competition. She also used to dance, of course, ball dance, and she would take me with her, and I would be the partner. I was the youngest where she used to do her ball dance competitions. I was the youngest to dance with my mother. So she supported my talent, and now my talent is even what my dancing talent is one of the talents that pays my bills. The talent that my mother supported when she was alive, it pays my bills today, and she supported it when she was alive. And I'm sure she could have been proud seeing me doing what I do now, but I still know she is proud wherever she is. She might not be with me in physical, but in the spirit she is with me. I still love her. Even in her death, I love her regardless. I love her, and I know she loves me back. She loves me back. She loves me back. She loves my siblings as much as she loves me. She loves everybody equally, and we love her, and we miss her. We miss her so much. We miss her so much. And we always know that if she was alive, certain things that we've gone through, we wouldn't have gone through in life. We wouldn't have gone through, because she sacrificed a lot for our lives. 5 boys. One of my kid brothers, the one who comes after me, she died when he was 12, and he's now working. He works in Kalumbila, Solwezi. And the other one, who was 3 months old when she died, is now at Unza. Look at what God does. Okay? He is always faithful. He's the father to the fatherless. He's the mother to the motherless. So if you lost your mother as well, and you're watching me right now, may God comfort you. May God comfort you. May God comfort you. If you lost your mother and you're watching me, may God comfort you as He has comforted my life. I celebrate my mother, and I don't cry anymore the way I used to cry when this day falls. I would cry my lungs out. I would complain to God, ask questions. Why did you take my mother away from me? Why did you do that? Why did she die? I couldn't even believe she died, because I couldn't believe that my mother could die. But yeah, God gives and He takes. That's what God does. He's the owner of life, and He's the owner of all that we have in life. So I miss my mother, I can't lie, and may her soul rest in peace. I thank God that she carried me for 9 months, and she gave birth to me. She gave me life when others choose not to keep life. They terminate. But she took care of me while I was inside her womb, brought me out to this world, and I am here full of life. I thank her for that, and I thank God that she was a channel for me to be a blessing on this earth to the people that are watching me right now. Even those sleepless nights that I gave her, she still took care of me. Sometimes crying, even when she doesn't even know what I want, why I'm crying, but she was patient enough to take care of me and my siblings. I thank God for her. I thank God for the time that He allowed us to be with her on this earth. My mother died at 44. At 44 years old, that's when she died. And I remember the last birthday we celebrated of hers with a party, and I was the knife boy. I was the knife boy at that birthday party. I remember that was in 1997 when she was turning 42. There was a celebration of her birthday party, and I was the knife boy. I remember I was in Kitwe for holiday, and my holiday was cut short because it was a birthday for my mother, and I was taken from Kitwe back to Luansha and straight into her birthday party, because the day I was taken was actually her birthday party, and I was taken straight to the birthday party, and I was dancing there as a knife boy to a song that was done, or that is done, by the Extra Muzika guys. Yeah, so I miss her so much. I love her even in her death. I love her so much. My siblings miss her as well. They still love her even in her death. She was our hero, and we still count her as our hero. She sacrificed a lot for us. May her soul rest in peace, and we'll continue celebrating her life. We love her so very much. We love her so very much. Mom, I love you so much. Njava is a big boy now. He works. Muivwa is at Unza studying. He's a big boy, 21 years old. You clocked 21 years since you died, and he turned 21 years on 1st June 2020. He's a big boy now. He's a big boy now. Very big boy. He's at Unza now. Of course, Hector is married. He's got some kids back in Luansha. He's a man. He's a man. Brother Lloyd, also mama, he has a daughter, and the daughter has got a child, meaning you could have been seeing your grandchild by now, because the daughter to your firstborn son has a child. There is a grandson and grandsons from your second born. All right, only me, your third born, is not married, but he's gonna get married. Him, this one, he will get married and give you grandchildren. I love twins, and so I'm gonna give you grandchildren who are twins. Look forward for those twins. You're gonna see them in the spirit, because you are in the spirit, you are in the heavens, you are in glory, and so you're gonna see them. You're gonna see them. I'm gonna give you twins. I'm gonna give you twins. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. If you have your mom, my last words to you: respect your mother, love your mother, take care of your mother, learn everything possible that you can learn from your mother. And for now, bye bye and shalom, shalom. Rest in peace, my mama Emma.